Hey, how's it going? I just wanted to make a quick comparison video showing the Schwinn Airdyne Pro side by side with the Rogue Echo bike. I haven't seen a lot of direct comparisons on YouTube between these two pieces of equipment, so maybe this will give you a better idea of how they stack up next to each other. Okay, so that was me going at 60 RPM on the Airdyne and on the Echo bike. And if you notice, the Airdyne was actually louder, and to me, the way it felt is the resistance was higher. It was harder to pedal the Airdyne at the same speed. Not by a lot, but you can tell. So you can go all out, full effort, you know, kill yourself on either one of these bikes. It's just a little bit different. On the Rogue bike, you'll be going at a higher RPM when you're going max effort than you would be on the Schwinn. So one's not necessarily better than the other. However, if you're doing low intensity steady state cardio, I would say that might be a point in favor of the Echo bike because you can go at a little bit lower resistance at the bottom end. Okay, so now I'm going to go full intensity, all out, and you'll be able to see the difference between the sound of the two bikes, and also maybe some of the stability as far as how much they rock back and forth when I'm going really hard on them. As far as stability, you can probably tell that the Airdyne moved around quite a bit more. Part of that, I think, is just because it has hard plastic feet, whereas the feet on the Echo bike are made of rubber. And so it just doesn't walk around and move when you're going really hard on it, on a hard floor like I have down here. If I had the Airdyne on top of a stall mat or something like that, maybe it wouldn't move around as much. As far as build quality goes, the Rogue is definitely more heavy duty. You know, it's a tank, it's overbuilt, everything people like to say about the Echo bike. It's all true. However, the Schwinn is really not that bad in comparison. It's actually a lot closer than I thought it would be. I had the Airdyne first, and I was pretty impressed with it. Everybody was talking about how overbuilt the Echo bike was and how it's such a tank, and it's so durable and so solid and everything, and it is, but it's not like a huge difference. On both of these, the arms, everything is very solid and tight as long as you have it tightened down. The bolts snugged and everything. There's nothing loose on here. It's not like this is just flimsy and flopping around and this is super sturdy. Like this, they're both pretty good. So I'll just show you a comparison of the stability of the frame and how much play there is and how much moves around. Like on the Rogue, you can see, there's always going to be a little bit of flex, especially because I have the seat pretty high, I have long legs, but it's very solid and stable if you try to move it. The Schwinn, there's definitely some more play here. It moves around a little bit more. It's not bad. I don't think it's, it doesn't feel cheap or flimsy by any stretch, but it's just not as solid as the Rogue. You can see the feet on the Rogue, they're actually a little wider, so that obviously that's going to give you a little more stability side to side than the Schwinn. It's not a huge difference, but it's enough to, I think, matter, especially when you're doing like really high intensity intervals and really flailing around and looking like a moron like you just saw me do. So the Airdyne does have multiple handle positions here that you can use. You can even do like a vertical grip here. Honestly, I don't think I would ever use that. I thought it was cool at first, but when I actually sat down and tried to use it, I just kept going back to the normal top level handles. so that's not really a factor in my decision. The seats are exactly the same. They look like they just got them from the same supplier and bolted them on. There's no difference whatsoever. The pedals actually look identical too. The only difference is the ones on the Echo Bike are black and the ones on the Airdyne are silver. So one thing I definitely do prefer about the Echo Bike is the monitor, and it's funny because I saw a lot of people saying that the Airdyne monitor is nicer and fancier. It is, I guess, fancier, but the Echo Bike just has everything right in front of you at all times. You can see all the metrics that you want: the RPM, watts, speed, time, calories. All that is on the screen at once. On the Airdyne, it's kind of like spread out in different places, and it's not all visible at the same time. And I just like to have everything right there, so I don't have to hit buttons to try to select different things and see what they are. So right here you can see everything is on the screen with the Rogue monitor. You have miles per hour, watts, cadence, which is the same as RPM, distance, time, calories, and heart rate down here if you have a heart rate monitor that works with this. Although I think the only one that works with it is a very specific, really old Polar monitor. So I'm probably just gonna. I also ordered the phone holder. It hasn't come yet, but I'm gonna have the phone holder down here, and I have a heart rate monitor that works with my phone. I'm probably just gonna mount that there and use that if I want to use heart rate. Okay, so here's the monitor on the Airdyne Pro. You can see it does look fancier, but I don't think it's really any better than the Rogue. And I actually like the Rogue monitor better. Part of the problem is you have to select between calories, miles, kilojoules, or kilometers here. Whereas on the Rogue, everything's all on the screen at once, which I much prefer, just to be able to see everything at a glance. You can take up here, you can hit rate select, so you can do speed, calories, watts, RPM. It's probably hard to see on the video, but that'll show you like a constant display of whichever one you select. But again, it's not all on the screen at once. I do like being able to see everything at once on the Rogue. You can see visual displays up here, like RPM here, and this dial here is like calories per minute, and then this one is, I guess this is speed, I don't know. Anyway, this is just like, to me this is all very hard to read, especially when you're trying to go fast and pedaling really hard. I would much rather just have the numbers right in front of me like it is on the Rogue monitor. I also like that the monitor on the Rogue is more in front of you instead of on the Airdyne, where it's kind of like closer and down low, and you have to. I feel like I'm like looking down at it as I'm using the bike. Versus the Rogue, I can look more forward, and it's like right there in front of me. I also greatly prefer the buttons on the Echo Bike. They are rubbery, thick, tactile buttons that you can really just press and feel that tactical feedback. On the Airdyne, it's more like smooth, like computery buttons. That's not the right word, but you don't really feel the button like clicking in as you press it. The buttons just aren't as nice. I definitely prefer the thick, chunky, tactile buttons on the Rogue monitor. So which one am I going to keep? Well, I got the Airdyne on Craigslist. I got a good deal on it. It was about a month ago, not even. And then Rogue had their month-long matte black November going on, and the Echo Bike has been on sale for the whole month of November. And so I decided that I would order the Echo Bike so I can compare them side by side, and whichever one was better I would keep, and the other one I'm going to sell on Craigslist. So for me, I'm going to stick with the Echo Bike. I'm going to sell the Airdyne. I do like the Echo Bike better. It's not like, I don't think it's like a whole another quantum leap beyond the Airdyne Pro. I just like it a little bit better, so that's the one that I'm gonna stick with. It does feel a little bit heavier duty, a little bit more stable, especially with me. I'm a big guy, so it's either one of these bikes is gonna like move around if I'm going really hard on it. But the Rogue is a little bit more stable in those circumstances. And I do like that the resistance is a little bit lower on the Rogue. I like that because if I do want to do low intensity steady state cardio, I can do that, and I don't feel like it's just always like just a little too hard for comfort. Like I can go at a slow pace, and the resistance isn't too much, and then when I'm ready to go higher intensity, I just speed it up, and it's as hard as you want it to be at that point. And it's a little bit quieter, which is nice, because if I am doing low intensity stuff, I might want to be watching something on TV or listening to a podcast or something like that, and I don't need a bunch of racket in my ears drowning everything out. And I'll be honest, the Rogue just looks a lot cooler. That's not a big deal, but if you're gonna have something, it might as well look nice, right? Okay, so if you're in the market for one of these two bikes, I would definitely say, if you're gonna buy new, just get the Rogue. You're not gonna be disappointed. It's a great piece of equipment. It's sturdy, it's overbuilt, it's really smooth, and it's $250 to $275 currently dollars cheaper than the Airdyne Pro, so you really can't go wrong. If you can somehow get the Airdyne Pro cheaper than the Echo Bike, which is what I did, because I bought it used on Craigslist, I wouldn't ever tell somebody in that case like, oh no, you have to spend extra on the Rogue, because I don't think it's really that big of a difference. But for me, I was just really curious about which one would be better, and was really curious to compare them side by side, and so I paid a little bit extra. Got the Rogue. I'm going to be able to sell the Airdyne Pro for pretty close to what I paid for the Echo Bike, so I'm kind of just swapping them out, and it's not really costing me too much extra to be able to do that. I hope this video was at least somewhat helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below, and I'll try to answer those. And yeah, thanks for watching.